Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Dustin, and today I'm going to give you a review of the Bethlehem Alpha burner. This burner is from the company Bethlehem. It's a great company. They make a bunch of different torches, and this is the Alpha, and this is one of the smaller ones in their line. It's got oxygen and propane, so it's just a regular mixed torch. It's a surface mixed torch. And this one has the B fitting, so the hoses can screw directly onto the torch with compression fittings. You don't need any pipe dope or pipe tape or anything like that. It's got a couple of knobs on the bottom that you can loosen up and adjust how it sits that way, and this like that. So it can go up and down on this axis, and then again on this axis. So it's pretty adjustable. This is a great torch for beginners, and I'm going to light it up and show you guys a couple of flames. So we got the propane on, and now the oxygen on, and let's see how large of a flame we can get with this. So I'm turning it up. You can hear it start to hiss a little bit, and as it's hissing, you can tell that it's cooling down. So this is probably about the maximum width that you can get, because the more oxygen I put in at that point, the cooler it's going to be. So this is probably about your limit of size flame of this torch. And let's go down to our detailed torch and see what that looks like. So I'm turning them both down. Turn the oxygen up a little bit. Turn it down, adjust that. So we got a torch that's, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's a light pinpoint flame, and it starts about here and goes to about here. And it's a really light pinpoint flame. This would be really good for stringer work and things like that. So I'm gonna make a quick spoon and kind of show you guys how that works. Just a clear spoon like on the other torch review demos, and keep in mind that this torch and the spoon is available through Mountain Glass Arts. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my blow tube and get that ready. So heat up one end and going to flare that open. There we go. I would recommend a setting of probably about 10, 15, or 20 on the oxygen, and probably about 5 to 10 psi on the propane. So I'm just heating this 25 millimeter tube up, and one thing I can notice already is that it's a much colder flame than the GTT. So things are going to take longer to heat up, but sometimes that's good as a beginner because things happen slower. So I'm going to push this torch up to about its limit right here. Whenever you're starting off, and even when you're working, you always want to reach for things on the same side of the torch. You don't ever want to really cross your hands over the torch. I know I just did for that bowl there, but you got to pay really close attention if you're ever crossing over the flame. You don't ever want to cross streams. So you heat this up. I'm going to close this down. You can see it's moving really slow. So we take that, we're going to make a little round bottom. So the torch is totally functional. It's really good for making smaller stuff, especially like this spoon, beads, pendants, little sculptures, things like that. So I'm going to pop a hole here in the bottom, bring down the torch a little bit, something a little bit more precise. I'm just going to remove a little bit of that glass from the center. That's going to help put that hole right in the center. I'm going to heat that up and blow real hard. That's going to expand the hole a little bit. And I can use this awesome tool that Nathan Smith sent me to flare that open. Grab the blow tube. We'll put a little bit bushier flame on for this. Just going to heat this and then connect it. Push and then pull just a little bit. There we go. And then when you go back in the flame here, when you're going to decide how long your pipe is going to be, you want to go in and not turn for a second. And once it starts to heat up, then you can turn a little bit. Once that's nice and soft, you can go into your V tool or your roller tool, whatever you have here. This is a special roller tool with sharpened blades that's for this. You can't just use any roller tool, but you can use just a regular piece of metal that's cut into a V shape. And then that'll be all prepped up for the next one. Put that there. Next step we want to do is close this off. So I'm going to heat it up, bring it down, close it off, and then make another little round bottom over here. One thing that's really nice about the surface mix torches, including the Bethlehems and the GTT, is that they're really quiet. Some of the pre-mixed torches can get kind of loud. Just going to heat up both these, blow, and then I'm going to attach my punny. Now we're going to heat up the center of the pipe, just like that. And you can see that things are moving, but generally a little bit slower than in some of the other videos where I'm using my torch that has a very penetrating heat. This torch is on the more affordable side, so if you're just starting off and you want to save some money or see if you like doing this or if it's something that you maybe want to invest in, getting a torch like this in this kind of price range is it's smart, because you can kind of start out on it, and then maybe if you decide to pursue it, you'll have an extra torch in your studio for your friend. So it's heating up, trying to heat up a big area, and you see I'm going back and forth, and that's what you have to do on a torch that has a small flame. You just have to go back and forth and try to heat up a pretty large area evenly. And then really you don't want to hold that in the center, because that's just going to melt the center. So now it's nice and hot. I'm going to pull a little bit, and you can see it's already the shape of a pipe just with that one heat. Let that cool down a little bit and solidify into shape so it stops moving. And then we're going to just work on the Maria on the mouthpiece end real fast. So we'll turn everything down to give ourselves a little bit more precision. heating it up. Just push just a little bit, kind of letting that radiate, get even, blow just for a little bit. And then we're going to go into an even more precise flame. And I'm going to narrow this down right at the end where I'm going to take this off. So just melted it, made it a little bit more narrow. I'm going to pull just a tiny little bit. Alright, now we're going to take the punny off. And increase the size of the flame for melting in the bowl. So I'm going to crank this up to about what its maximum capacity is for width again. And it's a little bit colder of a flame. So this will work on the clear glass, but once you start to add in colored glass, you're definitely going to need to use a more penetrating flame like this one. But right now we're just getting a bushy flame. Just trying to heat up and get a really nice even heat on this part of the glass before I blow into it. Let it condense just a little bit. I'm going to blow. Now I have it almost to the size that I want, but I'm going to heat it up and condense it and blow it one more time just to make sure that the walls are even and it's exactly the shape that I want. All right. So now we have the bowl part all good to go. We're going to make the flame more narrow again, and this will give us some precision to go in and pop the hole. So we pick a good spot where you want the hole. Maybe you mark it or you pull it out just a little bit like that. Push your hole, and then you want to heat up around the hole, not the hole directly. You see how I'm going around the hole like this? Heat that up. If it gets closing up, you blow a little bit. If it's opening up, you heat the edge a little bit and thicken it up. Grab your bowl push. Push that in. There we go. And then we're going to put the carb in. Got that, and the last step is to do the flat bottom. So I usually hold it like at this angle so I can get it right under the bowl. Put the back down and push, and then we have a nice flat bottom there. And the last step is we're going to take this off. And a lot of times with colored pipes, you want to put this in the kiln first, but with clear pipes, especially made fast like this, you can do this at this point of the game. Just heat it up. You want to put a little stress on that point of the pipe, and then it'll break right off. And you heat it up, and you can go in here with your reamer and even that out. Sometimes if there's a little excess glass or if it's uneven at all, you can take this and kind of even it out. Just swooping it around, kind of putting the glass where you want it. Use the back of your jacks or a paddle for flattening that out. And there you have it. That is the Bethlehem Alpha burner, and it's available through Mountain Glass Arts. I know that they give you a little bit of a discount when you tell them that you've watched this video. Thanks a lot for watching. And this particular torch and this pipe is going to be available at Mountain Glass Arts, and we really wanted to thank them for sending us these torches to do these reviews. All right, have a good day, folks, and we'll see you soon with another torch review.